Have you ever watched an episode of Cops? I've watched an episode or two of Cops on TV, and this book is like Cops in written form with a bunch of local stories. And we're fortunate enough to have Aaron Bucy, the author.
Yes, sir. I'm Scott.
I'm doing well. Thank you for being on the show. I'm excited about your new book. It's called Full Report, The Memoirs of a Rural Texas Peace Officer. And you're a local guy with local stories. And tell us a little bit about why'd you put this in story form?
Well, when I would be introduced or meet someone for the first time, they would always ask, what do you do for a living? And when I tell them I'm a police officer, the first thing that most everybody would then respond with would be, I bet you've seen some crazy things.
Crazy stories.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen? And so I found myself repeating a lot of these stories verbally to people, and people were always wanting more stories. And so I thought, well, instead of just telling these stories over and over and over, I'm going to write them down. And so before we knew it, we had a book.
Excellent. And these are all local. Now we're here at CBC Creative, their conference room. They were nice enough to let us record some more episodes here. And so we're in downtown Sherman. So it's around us. These stories are from around here?
These are all Texoma stories.
Okay.
They all happen in Grayson and Fannin County.
Okay.
Won't get any more specific than that to protect those involved, But they're all very local stories. It's a book that's just about what happens in the small towns.
Now, what I noticed about the book too is that you give some commentary, not just about the events, how it went down, so to speak, but also kind of what you were thinking in the moment. Is that right?
Yes. This book, I didn't write it as a technical manual so that it's this is the right way to proceed, this is the wrong way, this is what the law says, this is what the law says you can and can't do. It's not like that at all. It's a coffee talk book. It's sitting around the fireplace and telling stories, only you're reading it instead of having a conversation.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah, and so when I wrote it like that, I do explain, well, I do this because this is the law, but I don't really get into a debate where it's good or bad. And so the uniqueness of telling the story like that gives me the ability to relay what I was thinking, some of the thoughts that were being processed during a situation or as I was approaching one, because there's just a lot of things that the video cameras don't capture. If you've dealt with someone previously, or you have other knowledge and things that you're really weighing on your mind on how to proceed, that the video doesn't capture. And so you can get kind of an in the mind of a peace officer as he's approaching the scene.
These stories just held my attention. It was really great. Again, it's Full Report by Aaron Bucy, and you can get this at Amazon in paperback form. You can get the Kindle book, and then you have an audio version coming out, right?
Yes, it will be on audible.com, and it's Full Report, same cover. That should be out next week. That will be October the 15th-ish.
Okay.
So it's in final production now, so I don't have an exact date, but it's coming.
Perfect. Thanks again, Aaron.
Scott, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We are at CBC Creative in their conference room. We've had other episodes here. A big thank you to them for letting us use this overlooking the downtown area, which is really cool because you can see out the windows. I'm Scott Ochoa, your host of North Texas Talks, and as always, I'll see you next time.